everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I know that it's been a while since my last video and I just want to apologize for that. I have been really busy with college and exams and all my assignments. But now that I'm actually just done with college, the 5 years are over. So now I can just focus on my YouTube channel and making more nail videos for you guys. So for my first video back, I wanted to do a sort of a tiger inspired nails. I'm gonna pop up my reference as usual, and I saw like these brown translucent brown and orange nails with like black stripes on them that I think resembled either tiger or leaves. Like two references look a bit like tigers and leaves, so I wanted to do something like that, but instead of having it in this color, I think I'm gonna use like different colors for each finger. Today we're gonna do both hands, so 10 nails. And I just want to apologize for the AC noise if you can hear it. I live in a very hot country and I really can't survive without the AC, so I really hope it doesn't make a lot of noise in the video. So let me just get out my nail tips. Oh, and I'm gonna be using long ones in this video. Let me get them out and then we'll come right back. Okay, so we are back with the nail tips and I sized them all to my hand. And what I'm gonna do is just file the tips off where you can see like this little plastic bit. Okay, that was over quite quickly. And they all fit quite well on the side walls, so I'm not really concerned about shaping them on the sides. I just wanted to make sure that there's just no like weird plastic bits sticking out there. What I'm gonna check is to see if they fit perfectly on my cuticles. Okay, they're actually quite perfect, so just gonna stick them on the stand. Now that we have them on the stand, I'm gonna pick out my colors, and I've changed my setup since last time. I'm using like a different table, different lighting, and that means that everything is a bit closer to where I want it to be. My nail polish is just over here on the desk, but it is a bit narrow, so my tools are just like on a smaller table on the side. But you know, we're improving slowly, and hopefully the next step I'm just gonna get like a bigger desk. So anyways, let me just get my colors and I'll come right back and show you guys the colors that I picked. Okay, so I actually just picked out 5 colors for one hand, and I'm gonna pick out the other 5 when we do the other hand. And here are the colors that I picked out. We have this like sort of reddish brown, this pinkish beige. I think it's more of a beige than pink because we have this other color that's like a true pink. Sorry for shaking the camera. We have this purple, and finally we have this like bluish gray. Okay, now we're just gonna paint the tips, and I'm not gonna bother painting them with a clear coat first to clear out the fuzziness because we are going to paint them with relatively opaque colors, so I don't mind the fact that they are a bit like I don't know what to call it, like, you know, glass when it's like bathroom glass when it's like frosted glass. I don't mind the frosty look, so I'm just gonna keep it that way. And I'm just gonna zoom in a bit so we can see everything better. And I think for some of them I am gonna give them like a French tip. I'm not gonna paint like the whole tip, so I think maybe for the thumb and the the middle finger, or maybe the ring finger, I don't know, maybe these 3 because they are the longest nails, so I can paint like more on the design. So let's just get out the brushes for that. Okay, so we're just gonna be using these thin brushes to do the French tips, sorry. So I think what I'm gonna do first is start with the nails that I know I don't want to have a French tip on, because it's just gonna be quicker. And for the order of the colors, I think I might want to do the this reddish brown color on the pointer finger, so let's just open it. And I really love this color because it's, as you can see, it's like a jelly color, and it takes a few coats for it to be opaque, so you can really control the transparency and get the effect that you want. And as usual, I'm just cleaning up the edges. And I know that it looks a bit splotchy right now, but that's gonna be fixed when I add another coat once this dries. Now let's move on to the pinky, because I also know that I want it to be a full color. And I think I want to go in with this pinkish color for the pinky. I should really be wearing gloves when I do this, because you can see the stripes on my fingers after. But anyways, that's a problem for future me. Now, it's time for the French tips. And I'm just gonna start with the thumb. And I think I want to do it with the purple color. So hopefully we can do that. And thank God it's not like all... You know when you leave nail polish for a long time and it gets thicker and like goopy? But thank God it hasn't done that. And it's gonna make it a bit easier to paint on the French tips. So I'm just loading up my brush, and I am gonna paint the French tip a bit high so I can have more space for the art itself. So I think maybe like up to here. And let me do my trick actually. Let me grab something to put this on. So I just grabbed a random piece of paper to rest my brush on, and I'm gonna use my hack, which is to draw the French tip on with like a white pen and then go over it again with nail polish. So let me just draw a horizontal line. I'm not sure if it looks unsymmetrical or not, but we are gonna know when we paint the nail polish on. And we can get to painting with actual nail polish, but I am still gonna do the French tip part with nail polish, or with this thin brush, so I can move it more fluidly. Okay, I was holding my breath for that. Let me do the other side. Okay, I'm gonna need more nail polish. And sometimes it helps if you move the nail rather than moving the brush itself. So I'm just twisting the nail rather than moving my hand. And I think that helps sometimes. So now I'm just gonna move on to a shorter brush. I think I'm gonna use like this brush. Let's just go in with the color now. I feel like I'm ready to do so. And I'm gonna start off. That is a beautiful color. I should do more purple sets. Like, that's just my favorite color, to be honest. I don't know why I don't do more purple. Okay, does this look symmetrical to you guys? I feel like it does, at least to me. We're just gonna let this coat dry. And I know that you can see the white under the purple, and that is just easily removable with some alcohol. So I'm gonna do that, but just after the color dries, so I don't mess up any lines. Now we have to do this 2 more times. So let's go over the middle finger, and I think I'm gonna do this light color now. And let me clean my brushes so I can repeat these steps over again. Okay, so the process is just gonna be the same as the thumbnail. I'm just gonna draw the French tip on with the white pen and define it more with the thinner brush, and go over that with the thicker brush to fill up any areas that I feel are a bit thin, and just paint the nail with the color. I'm gonna do it on camera with you guys, but I think it might be like sped up or something. This is just the same. I don't want to bore you guys with the same. And they're all gonna be high, so I'm just gonna compare it to this one. I think over here. Okay, so this color is a bit thicker than usual. I think this one actually dried while I was on my break. So I'm just gonna add a few drops of nail thinner into this polish, and I'm just gonna let this rest on the side. Okay, so I've just added a few drops of nail thinner into this polish and shook it, so I hope that's gonna work. But now we just have the last nail, and I am gonna do a French tip on it as well. So let's just let's just draw where the tip should go. The only thing that annoys me about these pens is that like the cap does not fit on the end of the pen, so I just have to leave it on the side, but that's okay. Ooh, that is slanted. That is a bit better. Okay, I actually think that looks perfect, like perfectly symmetrical. So I'm just gonna go in with the color. And the last color we have is this bluish gray, so let's just go in with it. Hopefully it's not crusty. Oh. Well, the color itself still looks a bit fluid. Don't think we're gonna be having problems, so... Okay, that is gonna need another coat. That is just the shape done. Now I think what's left is to just do another coat on all of these. Unfortunately, I did want to stick with the reference and have them like transparent, but I don't have like jelly colors, like actual jelly nail polish. We're gonna be stuck with opaque colors, but they look cute. I don't mind that they're opaque, but I'm just sad that they're not gonna look like the reference anymore. So let me just do another coat on all of these and come right back. Okay, so I did a second coat of nail polish on all of these nails, and unfortunately this color did not thin enough for me to use it again, so it's a bit thick and wonky. So what I'm gonna do before I draw on the nail art, I'm just gonna go in with my glossy top coat, and this is the top coat that I use for such purposes. It is a bit like murky, I'd say, so I'm just gonna go over each nail and smooth the surface before I go in with the nail art. Squeaky. Now that we're all done with the clear coat, I'm just gonna let them dry thoroughly before I draw anything on top, so I don't drag and mess up what's there. Now that all of the nails are dry, we can go in with the nail art on top. And for the colors, I just settled on using these same colors but in a different order so they would show up better on the nails. So for this one, the first one, I chose this blue color, and for the brown I chose this color. For this color I chose the purple. For this nail I chose this pink, and for the last one I chose this reddish brown. I've looked at the references a bit more, so one of them is more of a tiger stripe design or like a zebra stripe, and the other one is more of a leaf design. So I think I'm just gonna alternate between the two designs. I want to do like the same design, like either a leaf on all of the French tips and a tiger on the normal full color nails, but I'm not sure which design I want to pair with which nail. And I think what I want to do, because these are like a center design, I think I want to do the leaf on the French tips and the tiger or the zebra on the full color tips. So let's just start with that. Oh, I mixed up my colors. Oh no. Well, that's okay. And what I want to do is just draw a line down the center, first of all. And I don't actually mind that it looks a bit wavy because it fits more to that natural design. Now the leaves, they're gonna be thicker over here and like go thinner towards the side. So let me try and do that. Just zoom in for you guys a bit. And I think I just want to go over the central line again. It's not going to be as symmetrical as I want it to. And I am trying to have them start at the same place, but it's going to be a bit hard. So let's just try doing that. Okay, now it's time to do the little stripes in between. Okay, so I actually love how it's looking right now. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. Let me put it on the side over here so we can move on to the next nail. And for this one, I think what I said is we're gonna use this color, like the pinky color. Okay, so for this one, we're not gonna do the leaf design. We're actually gonna do the tiger stripe design. Okay, so it's now time to draw on the design. And I think I'm just gonna, I should keep the tip tiny. So I think I should start like this and then join at the tip. Something like that. Like, you know, when you're doing eyeliner and you start at the point where you start at is the thicker point and then you flick it towards the end so it turns thin. So I definitely don't want to go over that point a lot, so I don't make it thicker than I want it to be. And I'm gonna alternate the origin of the stripe, so sometimes it's gonna start from the right, sometimes it's gonna start from the left. Okay, so this is how it looks with just one coat. I am gonna try and thin out the points a bit so they actually look like stripes. And once it dries, we can go over everything with another coat of this pink. Like, you see how thin that can go? That's what I want. So I think I like how this looks so far. I'm just gonna let it sit on the side while I move on to the next nails. And I'm just gonna wipe my brush in between. I think what I said I'm gonna do for the middle finger is use the purple. And we're back to doing the leaf design. Okay, might be a bit thick, but we're gonna go with. So I actually think I figured out best way to do these leaves. I think you should start with like a light hand and then press harder in the middle and then go on to a lighter hand. So like a light hand, a heavier hand, and then a light hand. Okay, let me just go over some of these. I like how this is looking. I just want to add like a leaf at the top. Okay, perfect. And we can go on to the ring hanger with another leaf design. And we're gonna be using the beige color, and hopefully it has actually thinned out quite a bit because I've left it on the side. Okay, it has not thinned down. Okay, it's not flowing as smoothly, but you know. Okay, so this is how it looks so far. I'm gonna try and clean it up at the end as much as I can. And lastly, I just want to go over the central line. If you can see the side profile, you can see like how bumpy it is, and I really hope when it dries I can smooth over it with the clear polish. But I really love the color combination, to be honest. Like, I love this blue with this beige color. I think it looks really cute, and I'm really happy I did that. And now onto our last nail. We're gonna do the same tiger stripe design, and we're gonna be using, let me see, which color did I not use? We're gonna be using this red brown color. Okay, let's go over and do the tiger stripe. So I'm gonna do the stripes first with this smaller brush, and then I'm gonna use my taller brush to point out the ends. Honestly, you guys, I'm just happy to be doing nail art again. It's something that makes me really happy, and I'm glad I am gonna have more time for that after college. And I really hope you guys are excited to see more videos. Now I'm just gonna thin out the edges, and like draw them out with the thinner brush. Okay, so I love how this is looking. I'm honestly like the biggest fan of this brownish color with pink. I love using it in my outfits, so I just love how this turned out. And here are the nails with the nail art done. I am gonna wait till they dry. I'm gonna go over with the tiger stripe design with a second coat, and when that's done I'm gonna come right back so we can add the glossy top coat. And I'm not quite sure if I want to add like something else. I don't know if I want to add like a gem or a pearl or anything, but I think when they're dry and like covered, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with that. Okay, we are back with all of the nails dry, and I've gone over this nail with a second coat of the pink color, or like this beige color, but I try to be careful not to make the lines a bit thicker, so in some areas they are a bit translucent, and I don't mind how that looks. So we're just gonna top coat them together, and I have like a actually clean top coat. I've decided not to add anything on top. I really like how they look just like this, so I'm just gonna top coat them. And I'm just being careful that I don't drag too hard so I don't like run the color and ruin the design. And as usual, I'm just wiping the sides so they don't just bulk up. What I'm gonna do now is just let them completely dry, and we're gonna be putting them on after I like clean my cuticles and cut them a bit. So we're gonna, oh my god, I said I'm gonna do like, okay, so I'm just gonna wait for them to dry, and we're gonna come right back with them on my hand and after I clean my nail. So I ended up just doing one hand, although I promise you guys I'm gonna do both. But I feel like this is gonna be a long video already, so I don't want to keep you guys for too long. But I really love how they turned out, and here they are. I just used some sticky tabs to stick them on so I can remove them easier afterwards. And here is how they look up close. I honestly love how they look. They look much better than I thought they would look. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. and leave some comments telling me what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think I can improve on, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. So bye!